Pokemon Scarlet and Violet have been out for quite some time now, for a couple of days. For a good amount of time, I've also been thinking about the DLC for the game. Yes, it's maybe a bit too soon to think about, but it's also still very interesting to find out what it could actually be. We don't even have some of the map available yet, or even some of the undiscovered Pokemon in the actual center of the region. Like, we've got past Suicune and future Virizion. Yes, these Pokemon were shown, well, they were kind of leaked, but I'm not entirely sure, but they were out and about. I even made a video about these two Pokemon in the previous video, but we actually know what they look like now. But we do have some speculation of what we could see in the game. Yes, I have actually created some of my own creation and ideas for what Paradox Pokemons could be available in the DLC. Now, these art ideas, these are going to be based off the scientist findings from the book of the game. So the art style is not going to be based on Sugimori art. It's going to be on the, like the Suicune and Virizion and all the other Paradox from the past, future. We also seen this type of artwork before, the little sketched artworks when we were shown Big Tusk, future and past. Donphan. I have designed some Pokemon that deserve to have a past and future form. So with the first Pokemon that I've come up with that definitely deserves a form for like a future or past form is Unpheasant. Yes, Unpheasant is basically the most popular bird Pokemon out there, really. It's the least popular Route 1 basic bird. As I said, these Pokemon will not evolve because in the part, when we had the Paradox Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, they didn't evolve as well. They don't have evolutions. It's going to be the same similar situation here. I think we need a Unpheasant, a bit more love. He deserves more love. But having like an new Unpheasant form is a very good idea. This is going to be a past form. I'm going to give him more a raptor look. It's going to be based on a golden pheasant. Give him the talons, give him the hook and the wings, even a dinosaur tail, because basically this is a Pokemon of the past, which actually makes sense because birds are descendants of dinosaurs. The typing of this Pokemon is probably going to be a fighting flying type. I know we had a lot of fighting flying. Maybe we can also make this Pokemon a rock flying type as well, if it is possible. So this is a Pokemon that is definitely deserves desperately a new type of form entirely. It deserves more love because a lot of people don't seem to like this Pokemon as much. So I think it should be in the DLC. The second Pokemon is an interesting choice because this Pokemon is basically Shuckle. Yes. Shuckle. Shuckle deserves more. It doesn't have... It's the Pokemon that most people forget. Yes, it is a Pokemon that most people forget. It has no Mega, has no Dynamax form, has no other regional form, has no nothing. Even besides it's basically a meme out of this Pokemon. It is a meme machine Pokemon. I think it's about time this Pokemon deserves like a similar form or something. Giving it a past form. I'm going to change its typing to Poison Rock type. Even though I made a bad mistake on Twitter, calling it a ground poison type. That was my mistake on my part. This Pokemon, I think, deserves better. And thinking its stats could even be a bit higher, having a Poison Rock type is an interesting choice because we haven't even had that typing yet. I actually kind of like the past forms more than the future forms because to me, I think that the future forms are just robot versions, but the past forms actually have a different design concept to the others. So don't get me wrong, I still love the future Paradoxes. It's just I think that the past ones have more detail, have more design quality than the actual future ones instead. This gets a bit harder because there's not that many Pokemon that are very underrated, but there is surely one Pokemon that I know that's definitely underrated, and that Pokemon is Spritzee. Another past form, again, I love these past forms, and maybe Spritzee becomes a Poison Fairy type, or Poison Dark, or Dark Fairy, because there's so many typings for this Pokemon that can work, because the concept of this Pokemon that I've designed here, it's going to be based on a Plague Doctor, and I think every time people see Spritzee, they think Plague Doctor, making it a bit meaner, a bit more aggressive. Also, giving the Poison type is very unique to it, Poison Fairy, very unique. We only have Glaring Coughing, which is a Poison Fairy type, so... And I think Spritzee's evolution is absolutely disgusting in my opinion. Now, this is another Pokemon that most people are familiar with. It's not very unpopular, but it is pretty popular and very loved. It's Altaria. Remember, these Pokemon do not evolve, so it's just going to be future Altaria, yes. The typing on this Pokemon is difficult for me because I'm thinking maybe a Dragon Water type, Dragon Flying type, I think, like before. I don't know, maybe it could be like a Steel Flying type, or a Water Dragon type or something. Or a water flying type, because the concept I've done here, it basically creates clouds made of steam clouds out of its body. It's lost a lot of the clouds around its body and more of a triangular like feathers around the tail and that. So see, it's made of metal, so it's more appropriate for having it a steel type. It's basically Iron Cloud name. I haven't really thought of these names that much as well. I think it should be a flying water type in my opinion. So there you go. Maybe Altaria also deserves another form. Even though it did have a Mega, I think it should have at least a form like this. And then we have Future Bonsly. So Paradox Future Bonsly will be a Ghost Rock type. So that's interesting. A lot of rock types I've created here. So it looks kind of sinister that I've designed it here. I don't know, it's just more menacing. It's a future. It's going to be made of like the wisps coming out of its it's not going to be a tree mimic like Sudowoodo. So this is a very interesting Pokemon I've designed here. I don't really know much to talk about it. I think it's just a Pokemon that's just on the side. It never crosses with me that maybe Sudowoodo is more popular than Bonsly. I actually have no clue with this Pokemon. I just thought of doing it and thought it was a good idea. And maybe it is. Maybe Game Freak will do something like this with Bonsly and all the other Pokemon I've designed. So that's really it. I think Bonsly I think it deserves more love in my opinion. So there we go. That's all of the Pokemon that I've designed for the DLC. So thank you guys for watching the video. And down in the comments, tell me what Pokemon you want to have a Paradox form in the DLC, because I'm very hyped for the DLC. I want to know what they're going to do, because there's literally a whole area in the map they have like not even touched, and we can't even go there. It's basically a big blacked out area that you can't even access to. So very interesting to think about, and I think that these Pokemon deserve more love. So there you go guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.